Welcome to T-Square, where every word is a doorway, and every chapter, a whisper from the unknown, the stranger. Chapter 1, The Stranger She Swears She Met. She saw him again. Outside the bookstore on Langley Street, just past the cafe with the chipped blue awning. Same coat. Same eyes. Same half-smile like he knew her. But Maya swore she'd never met him before. Had she? Her heart kicked up. She turned quickly, pretending to check her phone, but her fingers trembled. Behind her, the stranger didn't move. He just watched. Like he was waiting for something. Like he knew something she didn't. Maya hadn't been back to Briar Bay in over 4 years. She left after her mother's funeral, said she'd never return. But things bring you back. Letters. Secrets. Whispers in dreams. The letter had no return address. Just a single sentence inside. You forgot what you promised. The bookstore window flickered. She looked up. He was gone. That night, Maya stayed at the Cliffside Inn, a crumbling Victorian house perched just above the sea. The rooms creaked when the wind picked up. Paint peeled from the window sills. A smell of salt and age clung to the curtains. She lay in bed with the letter clutched in her hand. The ink was oddly fresh. The paper smooth. But she hadn't worn the coat it was tucked into since the day of her mother's funeral. Her throat tightened. Something about the stranger, the timing, it wasn't random. It felt orchestrated. At 2:17 a.m., she woke up with a start. No sound, no reason, just the feeling that she wasn't alone. Her phone screen lit up. One new voicemail. No missed call. She pressed play. A voice whispered, "Don't forget again, Maya." She dropped the phone. Her breath hitched. The hallway light outside her room flickered on, then off. And just before the darkness settled again, she saw a silhouette outside her door. Not moving. Just waiting. The next morning, she went to the front desk. "I didn't leave my name," she said to the innkeeper. "So how did the delivery boy know I was here?" The old woman blinked. "What delivery boy?" "The one who brought me the key." The innkeeper frowned. "No one came by yesterday after check-in." Maya hesitated. "You're sure?" "There's only one road in, miss." "I'd have seen anyone." She returned to her room. The box was still there. So was the key. And the note, "You'll remember when it's time." Her hands trembled. Outside, gulls screamed. The sea crashed louder than before. As if something was building. She held the key in her palm. Cold. Heavier than it looked. What door was it meant for? Later, she went walking through town. Every shop front looked off. She couldn't explain it. Slightly out of time. Like the bakery hadn't updated its window in years. The newsstand carried magazines from last spring. The florist sign said, "Closed for winter," but it was June. As she passed the cafe again, she stopped. The stranger was inside. He sat alone at the back table, stirring a coffee he never drank. Maya stepped inside. He looked up. Met her eyes. Smiled. "You made it back," he said, like greeting an old friend. Maya's blood ran cold. "I'm sorry, do I know you?" He leaned forward. "We spoke the night your mother died." She stared. "No," she said quietly. "That's not possible." "You asked me to help you forget," he said. "I did." The bell above the cafe door rang. Maya turned, no one was there. When she looked back, the stranger was gone. Again. She stood at his empty table. Steam still rose from the coffee. And underneath the cup, folded neatly, another note. Begin where it ended. Her room. The mirror. She drove to the house. The one her mother died in. Abandoned now. Curtains shredded by time. Vines breaking through the window frames. The front door was locked. She reached into her coat pocket. The brass key fit perfectly. It turned with a soft click. Inside, the air was thick and stale. Her footsteps echoed on the wooden floors. Everything was as it had been. Almost. Family portraits were gone. Bookshelves emptied. But the hallway still held the old grandfather clock. 3 p.m. Except it wasn't ticking. It never had. She climbed the stairs to her mother's room. The doorknob resisted. Then gave in. She stepped inside. The mirror faced the window, just as it always had. Tall. Dusty. Framed in carved oak leaves. But her reflection. It moved half a second too late. Maya stepped back. In the mirror, her mother stood behind her. She spun around. No one. She looked again. Now the mirror showed only Maya. But the wallpaper behind her wasn't the same as the room. In the reflection, the walls were blue. Here, they were cream. She stepped closer. Something in the air changed. The mirror shimmered faintly, like water. She reached out, pressed a hand against the glass. It was warm. And it pulled her in. Maya stumbled back. The mirror was solid again. She turned and ran out of the room, down the stairs, through the front door. But the street outside wasn't Briar Bay. It was older. Like stepping 50 years into the past. Gaslights. Cobblestone. A horse-drawn carriage rattled past. And across the street, standing in the fog. The stranger. She whispered his name, though she didn't know how she knew it. Ellis. He smiled. You're starting to remember.